This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host Tom, and with me as always are Aaron.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi!
Wow. The energy level on your side is way different than the energy level on this side.
Okay, Eeyore.
Yeah, I know,
That's-
I
right?
know. Michael's been
My
yelled at
God.
several
I'm
times
just
already.
chasing Mateo.
I'm so happy you're back from
Wait,
Princess,
is that-
Eeyore.
I am
Snuffleupagus?
tired.
Yeah, it's Snuffleupagus.
Oh, I like Snuffleupagus.
What, are there
Excited.
like early mornings or something at Run Disney races?
Oh my gosh.
She's like,
Nope.
she's like Mr. Hooper, a corpse.
Oh my god!
Wow. Leave
my
Sorry,
God.
Mr.
Leave it
Hooper.
in.
R.I.P.
I remember when he passed away. R.I.P. Mr. Hooper.
Oh
I used to
my
watch Mr. Hooper as a
God.
kid.
I remember like reruns and seeing that, but Tom and I
Yeah.
watched some like documentary on Sesame Street, and they showed that, and I was hysterical because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid.
Oh, it was that was
was
like amazing. Yeah, what they did was really beautiful and amazing.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Wow.
It's the best.
This is such a tangent.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Hooper ran the store on Sesame Street back in
Who
the day.
doesn't know that?
I don't know.
People
Youths.
under 40?
Oh my god.
Youths. Yeah,
youths.
and then poor Big Bird didn't understand when he passed.
Yeah. Yep.
It was awful.
This is the weirdest beginning to an episode
Look,
ever.
Look.
I mean,
Hey,
I don't-
this is basically us stretching before a run.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
listen, because we dropped an on the ground episode, which is, I guess, what Michael and I have decided that we are calling them.
Ooh.
When we do the race recaps during the actual race, we do the interviews. So I had the recorder with me. If you didn't listen to it last week, it dropped last week instead of an Inside the Runner studio. We had Snark on the street who
Love
took
her.
over for a little while and decided that
Yes.
because she's like, this is the closest I'm ever going to get to getting my own segment on your podcast. So
I think.
I
she
mean,
did
if
a
it's
lot
less work than for me, then she can have a segment.
It made it easier. She was good at
looking
interviewing, so it worked out.
So we have Snark on the street in there. And yeah, I don't know. You guys reminded me of it because there was a lot of conversation about the Disney Junior characters because apparently Princess weekend on for the characters on Sunday were like 90% Disney Juniors. And there was a character called Mira that no one knew who she was.
My nephew's got a crush on her.
See,
there you go.
there you
Mhm.
go.
He likes her.
There you go.
He's 5.
So people were trying to figure
That
people were
explains
trying
it.
to figure out who she was. But yeah, it was a fun time. Lots of good food to be had because I went to every character meal and every meal possible for some reason.
Amazing.
And I had very early mornings because I still got up at 2:15 in the morning, even though I wasn't running.
Nope. Nope.
It was terrible. But yeah, always a great time cheering. There was lots of tears, lots of crying. Not a surprise.
Aw.
Got to watch both finish lines, last finisher go through for both races, and it was an excellent time.
Good. Well, I listened because I listen, and I think you did a wonderful job, and I think all of our new correspondents on the street did a very good job.
Yes.
So we will repeat that behavior in the future for different races that may not have anything to do with Disney. So
Yes,
look out for more of that.
I said that we're going to have to grab one of the recorders for Tom and Diana so that they can do it when they're doing some of their Maryland races because they usually you guys usually have a big crew at some of them where you have Nikki, Nicole.
That's true.
Ryan.
And Tom just loves to blow it out on social media. So I can't wait to see how that goes.
It's fair. It's fair. We'll figure Broad
Uh,
Street. We'll definitely do
Oh,
Broad
yeah,
Street.
we'll definitely have a
'cause we'll have
Broad
a ton
Street
of
one.
people
Oh my
there.
God.
Yeah.
I had an idea about a meetup, but I'll share that later.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we definitely for that one. I think we're gonna need to get possibly have you guys have a recorder too, because I think you guys are gonna be
We're gonna be cheering.
we're gonna be cheering. So you guys are gonna be on the course at the start line, and so you'll be at the start line.
Mm.
So we may need to get 2 recorders for that one.
God, my feet are ugly, guys.
What? Like why? This has been happening all night. Please stop. I was with Linda and like we were watching Phantasmic and she's like, "Here, look at my toe." And then she just shows me this giant blister. I'm like, "Are you trying to make me feel like I'm at home? Like
Only
what is
yams.
happening?"
Onlyyams.com.
My God.
Do we have any announcements to make?
Yeah, I mean, we announced it last week, but we will announce it for a second time. Virtually Live Race is coming back on May. I don't know. We're not
13th.
scrolled up far
May
enough.
13th.
On May 13th, Virtually Live Race will be back. May 13th, 2023, the day before
Yes.
Mother's Day. I reached out to the medallion gentleman today, and he says that he's going to try and get us a sample soon. Unfortunately, it was not in time for the launch because I am going to have to open this up.
March 1st.
No, that's tomorrow.
Not March 1st. That's when I'm getting my teeth out.
Ugh.
Why don't we open it up the day this comes out?
That was what I was about to announce, and then Michael
Sorry.
stole my thunder.
I forgot I was getting I'm confusing it with the day I'm getting my teeth out. Sorry.
Yes, I'm going to launch it on March 6th, the day this episode drops. So you will be able to, after you listen to this, go find the link. I will also be putting, some artwork up without the metal. We did get the confirmation on the hats.
They're in production
They're
now.
in production. So we have pictures of, I guess, the
We might wait until we get an actual production picture of them.
No, we're
Really?
not waiting because on the run sign up, you have to choose which hat you want. So I went ahead and put the picture
good
together.
idea. Yeah,
Yes,
good
the
idea.
graphic.
Oh,
Michael and I clearly had zero conversation
No
about this.
communication.
You guys sound like
Yeah.
me right now in
We
any
announced it.
conversation, and I'm just
Wow.
loving it.
I had already set all of this up. So Michael should just let me take the lead here.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I went ahead. I set up the run sign up page today. So when you go to sign up, you will see that there's a graphic that shows you the technical trucker hat and the elite running hat, and you have to choose between the two of them. It does not add any cost to it. You'll see at the end, it'll just show you your registration and then the trucker hat and or the run hat, and it'll say $0 and not add anything for those. So you have to choose between which one you want. We also have the magnets, the medallion, and a bib. Do we have anything
Yes.
else
I don't
going out?
I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
As
We'll
of right
figure that
now,
out.
I mean, that's what we've got.
That's what we got.
There's always a possibility that Michael decides that he wants to make new tattoos or do something else. That'll just randomly show up in your packet.
Yep.
So who knows?
Who knows?
And remember, the first 70 people are guaranteed
75.
70 because we
Oh.
get to choose our hats too.
Oh,
I was
I
like,
forgot about that.
are we special? Can we get one of each?
Yeah, I forgot about that, so I wanted to add that into it. So the first 70 people will get to choose which hat, at least. It'll likely be more than
I was
that.
going to say, it's
Yeah.
unlikely that
Yeah.
the first 75 people are going to choose this, or 70 people are going to choose the
That would
same
only
hat.
be if the first 70 people chose the
one-
same hat.
yes.
Yeah, which statistically is
Is not
highly
gonna happen.
unlikely. Yeah.
Yes.
But as a caveat, just to put
You
it out
likely will get to choose your own hat. But
Yeah.
if you would like to make sure that you do,
Get in
please sign
early.
up
Yeah.
early and get that in there.
there. Yes.
So again, Tom, for those who have never listened to our podcast, can you tell them what the Virtually Live Race is?
I love him explaining it every time.
I know.
Every time.
So the Virtual Live Race is a virtual event where everyone will register, and then on the same day, we will all have a shared start, and we will run whatever distance we want to run. It can be a real race, it can be just a training run, whatever you want to do. And we will share our runs on social media. We will have a Zoom meeting link open after the runs so we can all hop in and do like a little virtual toast happy hour to celebrate our runs, but it's a choose your own adventure. And that's all I got for you.
Also, you can join us that day even if you don't sign up.
Yes.
Yes,
That is true.
absolutely.
Please don't hesitate to join us that day even if you don't sign. Like,
Yeah.
the signing up is mostly for the stuff and things like that, and it's a way of us putting out merch without having to deal with the store and all that kind of stuff. It's fun for us. Fun
Plus,
for
you get a
everybody.
fun little medallion,
Yeah.
which
And the medals are really cool.
I really
Yeah.
hope we'll get a sample of soon. Michael and I came up with a really
Good idea.
good idea. Well, I should say Michael mostly came up with the idea. I sketched out the idea after that.
You should have seen my sketch.
You should have seen.
You should have
You
seen
should
his
post that.
sketch.
You should see.
I'll have to see if I still
wonder-
have it.
I will show you if I can find it. I will show you what he put on a piece of paper and said, "This is my idea," and then I will show you how I somehow managed to interpret that and put it into actuality.
I love it.
Because you will be amazed
Oh
that
my
somehow
God.
I interpreted what he wanted and managed to make it happen.
And with completely zero input from me and Diana, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, as per usual, I have helped. Not at all.
I mean, we showed you the hat.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See?
There we go.
You at least
The
got
hat
to see something.
says podcast on it.
Does it
Here
say
we go.
catcher.
Hallelujah.
Yes, and we've got a new sign.
Yeah, and my sign said podcast.
3
this time.
signs. We
Yes,
have 3
the
signs.
sign
No,
make it-
we're down to 2.
Did it make it back? Oh, it didn't make it back.
Oh, we're down to 2. Yeah.
Well, it's this time we didn't put it on the like really thick.
They weren't as high
cardboard stuff.
quality.
It was we had a poster made and then we put that onto a backing and then put contact paper over it to make it waterproof, which was the waterproof part was better this time than last time, but the backboard was a little flimsier,
Yeah.
so it kind of bent a little bit, and so I didn't even bring it home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta look for an actual quality, like one you can hold that's fabric or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
We'll see.
All right.
so yep, that's it. Virtually live coming today when you listen to this.
Yes.
Check the show notes.
Today.
And if you're listening to it not on the 6th, it's already out. So come sign up
Yeah,
for
just
it.
check the show notes anyway.
Do we have anything else? Oh, do you want to give an update? It is as of this recording,
This is the day.
Tuesday, February 28th
28th.
at 7:30 p.m.
You're telling me there's not 31 days in this month?
So that
According to the calendar I made, it is.
so that means that the February Peloton challenge is officially
With
over.
Rise and Run.
With-
Yes.
Well, it's not technically officially
Not
over
close.
Not
for a
over,
few hours.
Not over
Few
yet,
hours,
but we
yeah.
have a few more hours. Team Will Run For versus Team Rise and Run, and as of this sentence, Team Will Run For is ahead.
Woo! How,
Um,
pretty far. How far ahead?
I don't want to really go there, but it's a little bit of a lead.
I don't know. He
Did
he called
we
you out.
kick their butts? I mean, yeah, he's been.
Look, I'm
he
trying to
has
be nice.
been-
I'm trying to be nice. We're up by 600 miles.
I need to know between you and Greg who's in the lead.
I think as of right now, I'm up by like 10 miles.
Oh God!
Oh.
He could easily
he's
he
gonna,
could easily take me down.
he's gonna snake you at the
And
end.
do you
isn't
have-
You're gonna have
Do
to
you
get on this
have
bike
a-
after we record.
Do you have a
You have a
side bet with
shower.
him?
Yeah, isn't the
Do you
side
have
bet?
a little
that he-
side bet with him
I thought
there,
the
Tom?
side bet was team versus team. Am I wrong? Or is
I thought
just
it
me
was
No,
versus
one-on-one.
him?
no, it was head to head. It was head to
I
head.
thought it was you guys head to
Because
head.
he was
No.
also when you so we clipped that that audio from their last
Yes.
episode, and Tom listened to it in front of me, and he was giggling so hard. It's so cute.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, no,
cute.
Greg called you out head to head. Head to head.
Yeah.
Plus, you gotta go. You gotta get on the bike just so you can beat me. Only got like 7 more miles to go so that you can top me.
What's another 7 miles?
What's another 7 miles at this point? Because I didn't ride today, so
Look,
go at
as
it, Tom.
of right now, I'm at 245, and Greg is at 2:32.
Ooh.
Oh.
And when did he put it in? Today?
He has not.
Or yesterday?
He has not logged miles today.
Oh, no, you're effed.
Oh, you
Oh.
are screwed,
You're effed.
Tom.
You better get on that bike.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Because if he hasn't put in miles for today, he could get on that bike with fresh legs now that you've already done some miles
Knowing
today.
what he has to get.
Knowing what he has to get and do like 30 miles tonight.
And his last bike ride was 21 miles, Tom.
Oh.
I'll be honest. What's the worst that could happen?
he's gonna take
I
you
have
down.
to wear a nice shirt during Broad Street.
Look.
No, that's true.
So,
Their
for
merch-
people who don't know, what was the bet?
The bet is if I lose, I have to wear a Rise and Run shirt during the Broad Street 10 miler, and if he lost, he has to wear a Will Run For shirt.
Yeah, he has to wear the Tom. It's Tom.
Oh.
Hey,
Sure.
it's top. Oh, you see, we have that one.
Look, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
I'm not getting back on that bike. If he wants to hit, if he wants to take me down, have at it, man.
Can I just say, like, I like the Peloton, but how we've had to do this has been miserable. Like, I don't like being on it for a long time. I
Too much at
also
once.
like to ride. Like, I don't like to get on and get a ton of miles. I like to get on it and have it be like soup that I'm like pedaling through. So I put it like super high resistance and I only get like a few miles, but I'm like standing up and sitting down a lot. And I'm on it for, 30, 45 minutes, but I'm only getting a few miles. Like this whole like having to get on and getting like tons of miles, and I don't even get a ton. I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much.
I do want to give a shout out to the Will Run For team because our team has been incredibly consistent throughout the entire month.
Yeah.
We have a ton of people doing a ton of miles. We also have had multiple injuries. One of
Yes,
our was it Mal?
No, Meredith, who
Meredith.
I actually just asked the other day, or like a couple hours ago, an hour ago, how she's doing, and she said she's still pretty broken, but they told her today she does not need surgery.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good.
thank God.
She sacrificed her foot in the name of the challenge.
All right, here's the thing. We had people with COVID. We had people injured. We had people on vacation. We had people doing Princess.
Zane's still on vacation.
Zane.
All right, Zane.
I mean, like, Karate's like, no, don't add me to the team. I'm not going to ride that much. And then he rode like 3 50-mile rides.
Did you see me keeping up with him today?
I was so mad. I was so mad at him. I'm like, Karate, what the heck?
But seriously, shout out to everybody on Team Will Run For.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody on Team Rise and Run. Like they have some
Yes.
incredible riders too. Sharon, whoever you are
Kicked
out
butt.
there with your
Yeah.
700 miles, like
Whoo,
good
man.
Lord.
Yeah. Honestly, this was fun. I love the group that we kind of had. I think that it was good motivation for people. A lot of people who said, it was really good, especially after Dopey or the long training cycle, or just keep them going through winter when it's cold and they don't want to go outside to run. Gives them something to do. It's been good motivation for a lot of people. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Yep.
Win or lose. I mean, obviously the winners are better, but whatever.
I think Greg should have to wear Sharon Carried Me in the Rise and Peloton Pro
Sharon
Challenge
carried me.
shirt.
I love
Yeah.
it.
That is not a bad
I
idea.
feel like he should have to wear a hashtag Sharon Carried Me shirt.
Yeah. and I will agree with what people are saying, Aaron, because after Dopey, up to Dopey, I actually wasn't feeling burnt out, but when I got home, I was like, I'm feeling kind of done. So it was good to at least have this challenge to do something because I really haven't been running. So if I did not have this, I don't think I would have been doing anything. So
I said
there's
to
that.
Tom the other day when we were talking about something else, and I said that I was super proud of you, Diana, because you were super consistent throughout this entire challenge.
I tried. I was only taking like a day or two off a week is what I was trying to do. This past week was kind of hard, but I've been really busy with work. So,
Well, I did no miles this last week.
so
It's been about a week since I've been on the bike.
yeah, it's a lot.
So I did not contribute at all since last week.
Well, I'm proud of everyone and their rock hard taints.
I mean, I spent 3 hours on the bike
that's
one
right.
day.
Yeah.
48 miles, 48.5
Oh, that was the day
miles.
I was on
cannot
the
believe
treadmill
it.
for like 3
I
hours.
cannot.
Yeah, longest bike ride. Then I got told that I should just do a half Ironman at that point.
Ugh.
I was like, I'm good. Cool, but thanks.
I
No, I'm
cannot.
good.
No. But this was a lot of fun, and maybe at some point in the future we'll do another sort of challenge. But
Yeah, I know people have been asking for some kind of like run challenge. I mean, part of this was that we wanted to get people motivated to do some cross training.
I think that's a good idea coming up.
But
though.
I do really enjoy the whole little mini rivalry that we've got going on with Rise and Run. So we'll chat again with them and see what kind of other things we can cook up for the future.
I'm just saying, maybe we should do that in April because I got a lot of miles coming up for March.
See, that's that we would have to figure out a way to balance teams, though.
Do we have to figure that out?
Well, I mean,
isn't it better to just dominate and be awesome?
Look, if there's one thing the Will Run For podcast is famous for, it's domination.
Don't mind Diana as she's chewing on something while she's dominates.
I tried to not say anything, and then I couldn't resist.
Those are milk duds.
Oh god, that's amazing.
So, Michael,
yeah,
do we have any new 5-star reviews?
We do not this time, but thank you all for the last couple of weeks. We had a bunch.
We don't have Spoonie Love on the podcast.
Can we add
again?
Spoonie Love again? Can we just edit that back in again?
Oh my god! Did he say anything?
He didn't. I'm a little disappointed.
Maybe
I'm gonna have to find out whether or not he listened yet.
Or if he listened to the whole thing, because didn't you put it at the end?
Oh yeah, that was at the end. Our discussion about Spoonie Love.
Yeah, but the big deal part of it was in the beginning.
That's true. Yeah,
he like edited it and moved it around a bit.
Yeah, to get behind the scenes there, we actually didn't say that part when we said that part.
In case you don't listen to the very ends of our episodes, sometimes there's some good nuggets at the end of the music.
But I appreciate everybody who drops the reviews, and if you would like to add some, that would be amazing, and we'll shout you out. And as always, just share the show.
So what are we running for this week? I'll go first. I haven't ran since Dopey. I have a lot of dog walk miles, and obviously the Peloton. But I am...
Oh, yeah.
Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's March 1st. As of this recording, I will absolutely get outside and get some miles. Starting tomorrow, and get back on a regular cadence of it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's cold.
I know.
It is still kind of a little bit crappy out. It's not like hasn't been super cold around here, but it's still winter, so it is what it is. But I'm running for teeth because I'm actually getting them removed this time, or have had them removed when you listen to this, or I'm dead from anesthesia.
Man,
oh my god,
there's a lot there.
It took a turn.
It did.
Jeez,
it took a turn.
In which case, you probably won't be hearing this because I'm not editing this tonight.
No,
so,
if you go, we go.
That's it.
That's true.
It's the end of this episode.
Not in the same way. We're just gonna stop.
I'm running for training. I'm running for actual training right now.
Yeah, you are.
Peloton Challenge took a lot of my time, but I also feel as though it gave me a really good idea for how endurance on the bike works and translates to running in some regards. And so my plan actually is to continue using the Peloton as a pretty hefty training tool as I move forward, keeping my miles somewhat low and my Peloton miles somewhat lower, but
moderate.
Just moderate. Yeah, moderate would be a good word for that. I'm going to pull back to 3 days a week on the Peloton, but make each one of those workouts meaningful towards my half marathon possible goal that I have kind of formulating in my head to get back to that distance sometime, possibly in late spring, early summer. I don't know.
I think it's a great idea.
Again, it's all kind of like no one can see me. This is an audio, but I'm like in my head, pointing at my brain. I have some ideas in my brain. So, yeah, I'm actually starting to train for things.
Okay.
Actual training. Who knew?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it works. It's shocking.
Strange how that works.
Strange how it works.
Yeah.
Well, you guys all have running things. I'm have to start running again because 'tis the season. It's Shamrock Shake season. It's here once again. It's upon us. So I have to get some miles in so I can balance out the deliciousness of the Shamrock Shake.
Saints be praised.
Oh, and
so they're out?
Oh, they're out. They came out, I think, a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had one in years, but I actually had McDonald's the other night because I did a night run after work, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just." It was 8:00, and I had to get up for work the next day. So
I love McDonald's. Like, I do.
Had the 2 cheeseburger meal.
2 cheeseburger
Classic.
That's
salad.
like your go. That's like your go-to McDonald's
My go-to
meal.
classic meal.
Yep, it's the way to go. So go get your Shamrock Shakes. They're fabulous. I love them. Fantastic.
Not
All the
me.
things.
Do you think they can make a dairy-free Shamrock
Look,
Shake?
no one
don't
cares
think they
about
are.
your lactate problems.
Yeah, this is the episode of tangents and random useless information. Cool.
Tom tried to have a topic and everything.
Look,
so we'll see.
so would you say keeping on topic is a goal of ours?
Oh, God.
It should be.
Should be.
I think people like us the way we are.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, you rest the shit.
All right, we have Jennifer Cook, whose goal is to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Focus on what I can do now and not what I did yesterday or what I can do tomorrow.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yes, I love that.
Excellent. I love her goals so far this year. They've been so spot
Yes,
on.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially, since that's sort of my new philosophy in life.
Mhm.
Jen runs the 50. My goal is to train for a full marathon.
Whoop, whoop.
Guess what? You're in good luck. You're good luck today because that's what we're talking about later.
Beach Runner 78 took some time off after Dopey and Donna. Currently don't have any races on my schedule until October. Wait, I'm sorry. Excuse me?
What? That's interesting.
Wow. Megan. I saw her this weekend. We didn't obviously talk about her race calendar because I'm just learning this now. So I just want to get back into being consistent or work on more strength training and stretching. I mean, those are excellent goals, but really, no races on the calendar for Megan till October.
It's unbelievable.
Feels shocking. SD Fit Raf _ B.
Who is Raph?
Like, come on, Raph. Like
what is
Just keep them guessing.
Come on.
Keep them guessing, buddy.
I can't even tell you how many different handles he's had since I have known Raph in online circles for almost 18 years now.
Oh my God.
Which I just realized.
That's insane.
Like
I don't think I knew that it was that long.
It was like the 2nd or 3rd season of Lost.
Oh, wow.
So
We should start a
it's been like
podcast specifically on Raph's internet handles.
throughout
the years.
retrospective.
Yes.
A retrospective. I love it. All right. Today was day / hour 16 of my 84 hours and 84 days within 13 weeks challenge. AKA, I'm trying to run every day for 12 weeks, but I'm allowing myself an extra week, 13, to finish. Things are going good. I can feel my body adapting. My training plan is unnecessarily complicated, even more so than how I describe it here. But it wouldn't be a raft training plan without being so. I mean, this is definitely, this fits you, Raf. No races on the calendar. I just want to have a high volume and slowly increase my speed. aiming to run an ultra next year. Also, this is a new fitness and fitness-related IG account. Also, if you want to try to decipher the complexity, I'm on Strava. Just check out my daily workout sticky notes for the treadmill.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay. I don't think I follow Raph on Strava. I'll have to find that. On the...
Oh, like, as in, like, he's posting pictures of the sticky note.
Maybe, but there's also notes on your Strava activities.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Leah Miller.
Oh, hey, Leah.
Haven't
Hi,
heard
Leah.
from you in a
Yeah.
little while. Hey, Leah. This May, I'll be pacing my friend to the finish line of her first marathon at Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati. We loved that race.
Love
That
it.
was a great one. Yes. Despite minor injuries and illnesses, we have been trucking along in our training. My goal is to have fun despite the rumored hills and make sure we both get to the finish line feeling like we ran a smart race. Love it.
There are
Amazing.
some monster hills. What did we do? We just did the half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster
Monster hills.
I mean, don't scare her.
It's
or
an awesome
anything.
race. It's a really fun race. The whole city,
There's
city
pigs.
comes out.
And they have wings on them,
I
like a live pig.
Yeah.
I love that race. I actually said the other day that that's not like an every year for me, but I would go back every few years. Like I would, like in the next couple of years, I think we should go back and do it again. I really liked
We
it.
saw a dog standing on a fire hydrant.
I have no memory
I
of
took
that.
pictures. I'll show you. Anyways,
Wow. All right. Mimosa Von Cat Trap. That is Run Disnerd's partner, in case anyone was
Oh,
wondering.
yes, that's
Oh.
right. I'm like, that handle looks so familiar to me.
I did get to yell at them, or
as they
this
were running
weekend,
by?
yes, as they were running by. He saw me, and then I yelled, and it was like they were mostly gone away by then. But her goal is to train more consistently. She hit a damn wall this weekend at Princess Half.
Happens.
Yeah, happens regularly.
Happens.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
There's also weird weather.
Seemed like it.
Like, it was not as hot as they were expecting. It had some really dense fog. You couldn't see like 30 feet in front of you, from what I was told, on the course.
Wow.
Very strange weather out there.
Fog is weirdly hard to run in because you breathe in so much moisture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know that Run Disner is super proud of you.
Yes.
Matt Trax says, for the first half of my goal is to get faster and incorporate a good strength training routine. I love it.
Excellent.
I need to get back to strength training. Kate says her goal is to deliver this baby this week.
She is so ready. I was texting with her
For
today.
the love of God, little monster, get out.
Yep. Yep.
She said, running hills Friday did not help. So, hey, little monster, get out. Good luck, Kate.
Good luck.
Happily Skinner after. I got my dopey redemption and completed a marathon.
yes, you did.
Whoop,
Nice
whoop.
job.
You see that video she
Super
posted?
proud. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Oh my god, this picture of the dog on the fire hydrant is killing me.
Oh, I do remember that dog. I remember that dog. Now that you sent that, I remember that dog.
Oh god.
All right. Angie says progress on getting some progress on getting some speed back.
No, you were right with progress.
Oh, was I?
Progress. You went from progress to progress.
But aren't you progressing?
She had some progress
Oh,
on getting
she
some
had-
speed back. She was just
Okay.
doing shorthand.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I got you. Yeah, that's why I think I got confused. Okay. Progress on getting some speed back. I ran 3 miles at a 10-minute pace without walk breaks on the treadmill for the first time in a long time.
Oh, amazing.
That is an amazing goal
Yeah.
and way to get that.
That's awesome.
And so that's the end of our goal getters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you would like to be a goal getter, look out for Michael's posts.
Yes. Yeah.
Every other week. Just about Sunday, Mondays usually
Depending
is
on
when
when
he
we're
posts
recording,
it,
yeah.
depending on when we're recording.
Yeah.
And let us know what kind of things you guys are doing out there, what goals you've set, whether you've accomplished those goals. give us updates on previous goals that you've told us that you were going to accomplish for this year. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh yeah,
all that stuff.
status
Yeah.
updates would be good too. That's a good
Yeah.
call out. That's a good call out, Aaron.
Should we do training?
I think you're the only one training, so if you would like to update us on your training.
Update on Jersey Devil 100 miler training. I've been doing a lot of miles, clearly.
Yes.
And
I didn't think you were even gonna like hit up to the 60 mile
felt really
mark.
good.
And you've been hitting some high miles. 60 miles last week.
I did. So, I've been mixing obviously the elevation and the mileage. So I've been keeping my miles around 40, which is nice, but with like about 5,000 to 8,000 feet elevation. Then a couple weeks ago, I decided to see how long I could run. So I got 60 miles that week with just like minimal elevation.
Well, that's the week that you just went an extra 20.
Yeah, that was the extra 20 week. The week after that, I did 45 miles with 11,000 feet of elevation. And I was like, boy, I'm really going to be crushed after this. Because I think one day I did like 5,000 feet of climbing on the treadmill one day.
Oh, wow.
Why?
I don't know. I just want to see what happens.
Oh my God.
I mean, you know better than me. Like, it's gonna pay off.
I can feel, and then this last week, I definitely felt like it did pay off. So I took, I think I took the first 2 days of the week off, Monday and Tuesday, if I remember correctly, or did very, very, very light work. And then I was like, all right, I need to do a nice big block before I get my teeth ripped out and have to take some time off. So I did some decent midweek runs, like 10 milers and stuff. Then while Aaron was down at Princess, I went down to the Pinelands and hopped into the woods at night because I'm gonna have to run through the woods at night for about 12 or 14 hours. So better get used to being out in the dark alone by yourself in the middle of the woods where the Jersey Devil lives. So that was helpful. So I went out there, did an out and back about 20 miles at night. Then the next morning did 10, then did 8 that night, and then did 13 the next morning or whatever it was. And so I got a ton in. But even that final run I did on Sunday, I felt really good running. So I'm super happy with where I'm at. Now this could all crash and burn that day. It is what it is. But I feel good with my training. So
yeah,
I'm happy with that. I'll get back to it. March is going to be my big month once I get done this teeth thing.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So hopefully getting around 250 miles for the month, something like that.
Well, good job.
I can't believe
I'm
you're
proud
getting
of
that many
you.
miles.
I mean, I can. It's where you used to be up. Wait, I mean, there were times we did like a 70-mile week, but
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
I
since
feel
we've been.
way better now than I did then, though.
See, that's what matters.
Remember, I used to get the knee pain then.
Yeah.
Over a certain mileage.
Yeah,
well,
and then you kept changing your
wearing
shoes.
The wrong
Yeah.
You were wearing the wrong shoes.
I remember. It's all coming
and
back.
you just kept wearing Hokas constantly. Like, I'd just get another pair of Hokas. And then I got another pair of Hokas. And I was like, maybe the Hokas are the problem. And you're like, no.
They were I wear Hokas on the trail. It's different impact. But yeah, no, I have such a hard time with road shoes. I get this weird foot pain if they're not just right. But now I have 3 pair of Adidas that I bought off REI. They were like $35.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm buying as many as I can. Because they're $35 and they work. So really happy with the Adidas right now.
Hey.
So, Michael, you had an idea for a topic.
Yes. I figure it's early in the year. And like with
New York marathon draw is tomorrow, so you'll have a whole bunch of people who find out whether they're doing New York tomorrow.
Yeah, and like with Jen runs the 50, she's training for goals to train for her first full marathon. A lot of people are looking ahead to fall or say Disney next year or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever it may be.
Well, I think Jen, that was one of when I saw her. I think that's what she said. There was multiple people that said that they were planning to run their first marathon at Marathon Weekend 2024.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
That's awesome.
And then you've got some Chicago people coming up. You got MCM drawing coming up.
Yeah.
You got all the fall races.
A lot of people are going to be finalizing their fall plans.
Yeah.
Basically soon. Yeah. So we figured it would be good to talk. We all have 4 different experience levels and experiences heading into marathoning. So we thought it would be a good idea to kind of just like go over that, how we did it, the pitfalls, the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say, because I don't have too much, because I think I share a lot about kind of my experience. I've done 2 marathons, both were at Disney, as part of Dopey, which I don't know if was smart or not, but that's what happened. I don't know. What I will say is pick a plan for what you're training, and follow the plan, and as close as possible. Now, like, don't push yourself. Like, if you're sick and you have to take off a week, that's not gonna put your training back. I always say that to people. But there was a difference in how I felt that first time versus how I felt that second time
Mm.
on that marathon. Like, I was skipping through World Showcase this time on the marathon, and it's because I put in so much training. And then the other thing is marathon, and I mean just Dopey was a ton of training. The one thing that I've learned, actually I'll say 2 things that I've learned. One is time on feet is time on feet. So if you have a
Absolutely,
day where you're feeling like
100,000%.
garbage and you're like, I've got to go and do 12 miles today, but all I can do is walk, walking that 12 miles is fine. I feel like
I agree. Yeah.
was not getting stressed out. Like if I didn't run or didn't feel like running, or, hey, today just needed to be a walk day. And then just kind of to pair with that is when you're running those long miles, slow down. Kind of that run a little bit slower on those long runs, and then
Easy
long runs, and then speed work
are-
as you need. But easy runs
Yes.
are the way to go. But that's kind of what I've learned. And if I would have kept running, I would probably still feel great. I'm actually not, I feel like I haven't lost any of my fitness really, because I've kept up with the Peloton, but I don't know, I felt great during that marathon. Emotionally, not so much. That was a hard day in the Decatur Stover household, but physically I felt great.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely subscribe to the 80-20 whatever
Ish
kind of
rule,
yeah.
ish, where you're running most of your runs at a easy pace. And then even in your long run, it doesn't hurt to throw in, like, there's some plans that, and this is like, again, if you're running your first marathon, there's a lot of plans that'll be like, during your long run, do like half the like middle miles at like marathon pace. Like, I don't subscribe to any of that for your first marathons.
Depends on your goals.
If you've got
obviously,
goals
yeah.
in the future for like some crazy time goals, then yeah, you pick up an intermediate plan that has those kinds of things. But if this is your first marathon, be kind to yourself and pick a plan that is kind of just getting you to the finish line. That's what I gotta say about plans, I guess. Right this second.
I think it's very important. It's very important to have a plan. I mean, I don't know if you're the kind of person that can wing something, but like taking the guesswork out of what you're supposed to complete, and having that kind of being able to see that over the course of whatever runway you give yourself to prepare for that, it's good because you know that you're building towards something, right? So like mentally for me, this is I've only done one marathon. It was part of Dopey, but mentally for me, I kept checking off boxes of distances that I'd never done before, right? Like a 15 miler, first 15 miler, next weekend 16 miles, next weekend 16 miles, right? Like, and that just the incremental confidence that you build by training for something like this is mentally very valuable, I would say. So just having a plan in general, I think is very important.
Everyone's different. I feel like running, the more I talk about running with people, the more I talk about just all the different aspects of running, whether it's like shoes or fuel or training plans or everything. Like, there's no
Yeah.
one size fits all formula for any of it. So, something that I will say, you have to evaluate who you are, right? Like, how do you handle things? How do you handle stress? How do you handle having a plan? How do you handle not having a plan? Like, what do you need for your mental health to be able to get through something like
Yeah.
that? What do you need? Like, you have to evaluate all of that while you're picking whatever your said plan is going to be.
Yep.
Some people want to run 3 days a week. Some people want to run 5 to 6 days a week. Some people want to run 7 days a week. I mean, I think that's crazy, but people are on run streaks and and can do it. Other people can't. Other people find it a recipe for injury.
Yep.
If you say, I've been prone to injuries even during half marathons, but I really want to run a marathon, then find a plan that incorporates more cross training and a day of strength training, and do meaningful runs. Then maybe all of your runs won't be 80-20, because those runs that you do now need to be meaningful, because your cross training days are your endurance days where you're keeping it easy and low impact. So there's definitely no one size fits all. And just because it worked for your friend and your other's friends and this person's husband does not mean that it will work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially the first one. I know, like, for me, I'm not a big training plan person. Obviously, I don't use them for really anything. But when I ran my first marathon, I did use the basic outline of a plan
Yeah.
still, and asked a lot of people for advice who had run marathons previously, and tried to hit. My mistake back then was, a typical new runner, you're running every run at the same pace.
Yeah.
There is no
Yes.
easy runs.
Yes.
You're just going out running.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's like a typical. I mean, that's not unusual.
That's Tom.
Definitely.
Isn't that what you said the other
Yeah.
day? You're like,
Yep.
every run I run is the exact
Yeah,
same
I
pace.
did the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing. Every run was the same. Actually, I feel like, because back then it was like kind of pre-Strava for me. It was Runkeeper.
Mm.
And Runkeeper always prominently put your average pace up on the top. And I feel like that was a huge negative, like, that we didn't realize at the time. It would give you like whatever your mileage, your pace, and whatever time or whatever it was.
While you were actually running?
No, for the month, like monthly
Oh.
totals. So you would have like, oh, for this month I averaged whatever, and you were always trying to like better that, but it doesn't make any sense in training to do that.
Yeah.
I
think that's a thing. That's definitely a new runner thing too, because
Yeah.
you want to continuously
you
getting
need
better.
to see progress too, so that does help. Yeah,
Uh.
it's like a positive and negative kind of thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like, even me, like, I don't like plans, but I definitely followed outlines,
Yeah.
to get me where I had to be, for that, whatever it was, from a half in September to the full at Disney in January.
Yeah.
So I made sure I did, the long run wasn't longer than whatever 30, whatever it's supposed to be, 40% of the week or whatever it's supposed to be.
And a marathon is just so different.
It is.
I think mentally from a half marathon. I feel like in people's head, because usually when you're doing races, right, you're doubling distance every time. You go from the 5K to the 10K and then the 10K to the half. And those are kind of more of like a physical. When you're jumping from the half to the full, it's a complete mental change. So whatever you have to do for yourself to get you there is, I think, really important. So
I also think it's important to remember in that mental game that your body will go further sometimes than your mind will allow you to.
100%.
So your body has more in it than you probably give it credit for.
Yep.
Because I even as a person who, is like, oh, I could never run a marathon. It's not true. Anyone, if you train and you do the work and you put it in,
most anyone,
I would say almost anyone can run a marathon. Like, there's no reason why, if you were to put in the work, that you wouldn't be able to do one.
And by run, we mean like finish, like walk, however you do it.
Whatever you do.
Whatever you're,
yeah. I mean, run, walk, it doesn't matter. If you're going the distance, you're going the distance.
Yeah. We're not,
But but our bodies are stronger than we give them credit
Yep.
for, 100% of the time. So that is something that also goes into the marathon training cycle, is upping your mental game and knowing that you can do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, when you get like Michael, right, you have like a distance you get up to basically in your head for a marathon, and then you're good to go. Like, that's how I am with the half marathon. I always say in my head, like, oh, a couple weeks before, I want to
If I
hit
do X,
9 or
yeah.
10 miles, and I don't really have a plan for that. I just know, like, a couple weeks before, I want to hit this at least once
Yeah.
before I do
Yeah.
it now. Where the first few times I did it, it was, this is how I build up and build down and all of that. And now it's more of a little bit, looser. And for a marathon, I mean, eventually I could get that way, but I'm not there yet. So I would need to know, okay, like, when am I doing what? I want to make sure I'm starting soon enough. I want to give myself some breathing room, like, in that plan in case something happens. Build in a taper. And then those weeks where you're doing like similar miles, like, I know when we were training and Tom was getting kind of stressed about the miles, we'd have kind of conversations about that because it was something I had gone through before and had kind of the same thought was, okay, this is the fourth time we're doing 15 miles because we did 15 miles and then you did 17 miles and then you did 15 again. And now we're going up to 18. So think about, you're just adding on 3 to what you've already done. Like, don't think about like that 18 because that's a big scary number.
Don't think about the huge number. Think about
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense. Like, for me, like, I'm weird in that I count down miles rather than count up the miles.
Ah, okay.
So I'm like, oh, there's only, and this is all relative, of course. Like, oh, there's only 25 to go or whatever, or there's 20 to go, or now I'm down to 15, or now I'm down to 10. Like, that works for me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it works for everybody. Maybe for somebody else, it's like, oh, I'm done. I'm through 20. Like, so that, oh, I've accumulated this, so I'm good. And obviously, we're talking about like average runners like us. You're going to hit a wall at like most likely between 16 and 18, 19.
Yep.
During the race, where it's just going to be like, oh God, am I going to get there? But you can get through it. Now, if you're a person who needs to, like, for me, I always felt like I needed to just do a 20 miler and not much and nothing more than that to just know mentally that I could do that, I guess.
I think most training plans have a 20 miler for that reason.
Yeah, it's a mental hurdle.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you need to do more than that, I mean, if that mentally will ease your mind during the race, then you should do that. But
yeah.
I mean, physically, you don't have to. Physically,
I don't even think physically, I don't think you even have to.
I'm just talking about mentally.
But
yeah.
Yes.
Mentally, it's different.
Mentally, I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I don't have to do at least 20 before a marathon.
Yeah.
I just think mentally for myself. Physically, I know. Like, what did I say? After like our 16-mile run, I think I looked at Tom and I was like, if we had to do Dopey this weekend, I could. Is how, like, I was ready.
You felt good,
I felt confident, but I'm just such a big baby. So I
think that at one point in my life, I mean, after I'd run only like a couple of them, that I would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
But now, knowing what I know about my body and the way that it works with endurance, I think that I would absolutely do something like the Hansen method and enjoy it, versus the first time I tried to do it and was like, I have no concept and no understanding of what the heck I'm doing. But I think for me at this point, doing a like 8-mile, 16-mile weekend or a 10-mile, 16-mile weekend, and doing 2 longer back-to-back runs would suit my life better than doing a 20 to 22 miler because your body has to recover from that, like whatever. And everyone's philosophies are different, and everybody's body is different. So I don't know. It's sort of.
I would also say, don't be afraid to adjust your training as you go, as you learn about yourself. Like, if you realize that, oh, this long run is trashing me on the weekend, maybe break it up and do 2 days. Like, whatever. If your Saturday's supposed to be 15 and then your Sunday's like an easy 5 or whatever. Well, rather than do that, just do like 11 and 11 or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep,
Do
I agree.
something that
Also, life
balances it out.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have
life
to like
happens,
be
yeah.
forgiving about your plan.
You do.
Yeah.
Like one of the golden rules is don't go making up for missed
Never.
mileage.
Yeah.
So like if you were supposed to run, say, a cumulative amount of like 25 miles this week and you miss your first 2 runs, don't go adding those miles to the end of your week thinking, okay, well, I was supposed to run 25 total miles, so I'm still going to somehow get 25 total miles, even though I missed 2 of my 5 milers. And now I'm just going to tack them on towards the end of the week and suddenly have to do a much longer run than what you had planned to do. Cause that is how you get injured.
Yep.
That is the recipe for injury right there.
I'm such a weird runner because I always hear you guys talk about like cumulative miles during the week, and I've never counted miles like that. Like I never, you could ask me on any given week during Dopey, you could ask me how many miles I'd done that entire week and I would have no idea. I like live my life based on my Saturday or Sunday run, and that's my miles for the week, and then I just say, and then I have short runs during the week.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anywhere, and that short run could be 3 miles or it could be 8 miles, but it's
But you are following a plan.
I am following a plan, but it's like, and I feel like I'm like the only runner that doesn't do that. Like I feel like I'm like the weird one because everyone else is like, I've got 40 miles this week. And I'm like, oh, like, and then I'm like in my head,
Yeah,
like trying to be
'cause
like,
to
how
you-
many am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so
but for
dumb.
you, it works to focus on the weekend
Yeah.
ones versus the whole thing. But
Yeah, because I
that's
feel
how-
like it's less overwhelming. Like anything that makes
Yeah.
me be coddled like a baby is what I want, and that's what I take.
One thing that I will say, or a couple things, you're going to be doing a lot of like individual runs. Like try to spice it up a little bit in that, like if there is
Spicy.
if there is a race you can register for that'll
Yeah.
give you
Oh,
a
yeah.
catered training run,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that just distracts you from it just being another training run, right? Use that time to play around with your nutrition and make sure that you have all of that, and it's a good trial and error time because you don't want to discover something when you're focused on actually running your marathon.
Yeah, and I feel like we've talked about that a lot. I think like
nutrition is important.
we talk
Yeah.
about nutrition a lot, and we talk about like, hey,
Hydration.
use these use these races as training runs when you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really hard thing to do in your first one is understand that you have to, like, fueling is part of the training.
Yes.
And that even though you may have figured it out, it could still go bad that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your-
I mean,
Your stomach's
I
not
used
always the
to-
same.
I used to use goo all the time
Yeah.
when I first started running. And now, I mean, I haven't tried it in forever, but it betrayed me during a race when I was like,
Girl.
had perfect, like, I had perfect on the spot pacing for my goal. And then I hit mile 9, took a goo, and I went from being able to do whatever I was doing, like to a full minute to a minute and a half slower for that next mile and a half because my stomach hurt. And then I could not like make up for that lost time on those last miles because my stomach had blown up.
Yeah, so definitely practice your eating, practice your
Mhm.
drinking. Try
Also,
different fuels.
Your gear.
Yes,
Also your
gear,
gear because you have like some people do hydration vests, some people don't like hydration vests, some people want to hold handhelds, some people don't like to hold handhelds. I mean, I think all of these things
Try
are things
all of them.
we've sort of talked about in the past when we talked about gear and we talked about Tom and Diana's dopey training and them trying on vests and all that stuff. But like all of this stuff is things that you don't necessarily think about up front when you first sign up for your marathon. And then all of a sudden you have those panic moments of like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do?
Mhm.
And it might take you a little while to figure it out. So maybe you're not quite ready to start marathon training until June, July, but maybe take this opportunity this spring to try out
stuff,
some new
yeah.
things, whether it be a vest or try out a flip belt or a handheld or whatever it is you think that you're going to want to use through your training.
I'm telling you, that vest freaking changed my life. I'm wearing a vest over anything over 10 miles now.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a
Mhm.
vest. Like,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
I've
convenient.
loved it.
said
It
that.
was a
I've
game
always
changer.
said that.
It
I've
was a
always said that.
game changer.
I've worn a vest since probably my third half marathon. Before I even did marathons, I think I had a vest.
Yeah, game changer.
And I love having that kind of water just on me at all times.
Well, and I
Yeah.
love having water on me. Like, I'm one of those runners that even if I go out for 2 or 3 miles, I have to have water with me. I may
Yeah.
not even take a sip. It's like it's my emotional
It's a comfort.
It's my emotional support water bottle that I keep with me. And everyone always made fun of me because I called it like my nerd belt. I'd always have my nerd belt on for like a 5K or a 10K. Which I still will, but now I'm gonna anything over a 10 miler. I'm about to upgrade.
Break out the vest.
Yep.
Break out the
Vests
vest.
are
I love
nice.
And they have all those. Well, depending on what kind of vest you get,
Mhm.
you can also get ones with all the pockets.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
can get your phone in there. You
I
can get your
recommend
goo in
that.
there. You can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
your whatever your nutrition is, your blocks.
They don't
your,
slow you down as much as you would
and
think.
yeah,
No.
people are always like, oh, but what about the weight? If anything, it like distributes the weight pretty
Yeah.
evenly across your
I mean,
back.
as long as if your bladder's not like way
There's not
full,
really
you're
a lot of bouncing.
yeah, it
with
gets
it.
lighter.
I'm
Again,
not fast enough for
get
that to make a
fitted.
difference. Like I can
Yeah, that's how I
understand
feel,
for
yeah.
like someone who is actually athletic that considering a
No.
vest or not a vest would make a difference.
No,
but
I
for
don't-
me,
Yeah.
like it's not going to make a difference in my pace.
Yeah, I don't really think I don't know. I've always loved my vests.
Yep,
so.
I love it. I'm obsessed. So,
But you do want to make sure you don't just buy it like the week before and try it, because you'll be asking for chafe in places you are not expecting it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with like, whatever you're going to wear. It's just better to practice with it. I mean, I am not great at practicing what I preach, and I often wear costumes and do things that I shouldn't do on the day of race day. But if it's your first marathon, that's not the time to be having that experience.
yep.
And slow runs should be slow.
Yes.
Slower and should be
Slower
slow.
than you realize, which took me a long time to learn.
Yes, Michael is finally in this training cycle the first time I've ever seen him, and I think he's able to get to the miles that he's getting to because without being constantly like tired and worn out and just annoyed and miserable doing it, because he's doing it at a smarter pace where he's actually going slow.
Not destroying your body in the name of the marathon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think what matters
Exactly.
is you have to respect that distance, and you
Yep.
have to understand what you're getting yourself into. Like,
Agreed.
it's a very much a big commitment. But I would say anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, anybody can do it.
Yeah, we're thinking now that both of us have done Dopey. We're considering, hey, what standalone marathon do we want to do?
Like a regular,
Like that's not part of a challenge, whether that's Disney, whether that's somewhere else. But I want it to be the right race.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with it having, I mean, everything's gonna have a pace requirement, but I don't want to be so focused on that. Like I want to have
Yeah.
my own goal, and I don't want to be stressed about it. So I want to be kind of careful about what I'm
Yeah, so
I'm
like no
choosing.
Marine Corps where you'd have to beat a bridge or like
yeah,
something like that.
I don't want that, and I don't want it to be, you can walk the whole thing and be fine. Like I want like a little bit of a challenge, but I don't want like.
Are you thinking
Stressful.
about doing that in 2023, or are you waiting a year?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what fall is going to look like. I got to start running again, and then I'm going to start making some
Then
decisions.
we'll figure it
Amen.
out.
But I do have,
Amen.
we do
Amen.
have our normal races on schedule. So we've got, the Shamrock 5K, the B3, right? The Soul of the City, the Baltimore 10 miler, like all our every year races. So just thinking about, okay, I'm going to have to start training for those. But do I incorporate those into a larger training plan, or do I just, work on what I want to work on for this year and then make a decision? I think Tom has made a decision. I don't think he's ready to announce anything for this year or next year, but I think he has something in mind that he wants to do.
Yeah, it's weird because right now the only thing I'm registered for other than Broad Street and
Loopy.
Annapolis is the Loopy Looper, and then that walk around Manhattan that I'm doing with
Ugh.
my friends.
Oh yeah, the
God.
saunter.
The
Yeah,
Saunter,
yeah.
which is a 31-mile walk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Hard pass.
yeah,
Hard pass.
that's fine. But how do you train? I mean, you obviously can train for these things, but like,
Time on your feet.
It's-
That's it.
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
different.
That's,
It's
yeah,
different
that's time on
than-
your feet.
Yeah. When he
Y-
told
yeah.
our coach Megan that he registered, she's like, "Well, let me know and I'll help." She's like, "I'll help put together a plan for you." So
Mhm. Yeah, because when's the saunter in the fall?
No.
No,
Is
it's
it?
like
Oh, it's
soon,
like
isn't it?
June, isn't it in June?
It's
Oh, that's a nice training
Or
run
is
for
it in
Loopy.
May?
it's
a
May.
nice
It's May or
training.
June.
Oh
It's
my
May,
God.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're gonna roll right into Loopy.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on the Will Run For calendar.
Yeah, because those are very different. You're mostly walking. Like even Loopy, you can just walk the whole thing. You don't have to run at all. You can trot a little here and there if you want.
I
but
gotta
that's
get Loopy
all
Looper on my
totally up to you.
calendar.
Yeah, so those are like very different. Like, they're like a different mentality almost than even a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least the saunter has an end.
The Saunter is May. Oh, it's May 6th.
Yeah, that's like really soon.
Ooh.
Holy crap.
Look, it's
Better
fine.
get walking.
It's fine.
No, you got time. You still got dopey legs and you did rides. Oh, you just gotta get walking again. That's all.
I really do. Anything else on marathon training?
Take care of your feet.
Yes.
Oh,
Lube your
squirrels.
feet.
Squirrels, nut butter, people. Squirrels, nut butter.
What are they
Oh,
paying you?
that's the other thing.
Aaron's
that
an ambassador.
forgot.
We forgot.
That's
to tell
the other
everybody.
thing. No, I think we told them.
You announced it, I think,
Yeah,
on
you did.
I
Insta,
think I
maybe?
announced it like
I
a
was
million
kidding.
times.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows. Even if I wasn't an ambassador, people would just know that I'm an
We use it
ambassador.
regardless.
I did get some really fun gear from them, but that's the other thing that's going to be in your race pack. I forgot.
Oh, the little squirrels.
I am getting
Little
mini
squirrels.
squirrels.
Little squirrels.
Little mini squirrels.
Yeah.
So you'll see some mini squirrels in your race packs.
I don't know.
Yes.
I've completely switched to squirrels. Not only because then Tom and I can tell our lube apart from each other. But I like it.
Look.
It's greasy and the dog goes insane.
Oh my god.
when I
the
put it
cats.
on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We're like this dog is on a new level with it. Cause I'll put it on before like the Peloton sometimes if I wear shorts like in between like my knees. And he's like, "Oh, it's go time. Like, what is this?"
So
Greasy turkey like stems.
So I know this is a running focused podcast, but if I could give any relationship advice to those folks out there, having separate lube in your household is just it helps. It really helps with the
Oh, God.
relationship.
Yeah.
I made
So
it
squirrels
weird.
nut butter it up.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrels. Whatever your purpose is.
Take
just-
care of your toes. It's something I
Yes.
took a little time for me. Regardless of what anybody wants to say here, it took a little time for me to figure this
Oh
out.
my gosh.
Generally, my toes are pretty good.
If you're-
Generally, I feel like they haven't been since I've met you.
Yeah.
Like, was there a time where you were taking care of them or not taking care of them?
Your feet have been a nightmare since this podcast started.
Yeah, the other thing, since I was just talking about the race document, I don't know if we actually announced it on here, but we do have a Google Doc in the run
yes.
group or in the Facebook group that I can link in the show notes actually as well. But it is a Google document that basically everyone just put in the dates of their races, the name of their race, and then who is attending. And as we went on, people just put their names underneath it if they were running the same race or they added a new race to it. So go ahead and find that Google Doc and add your information there, your Instagram handle if you want, so that people can find you. You guys can connect when you are at the races. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, just join our Facebook group.
Yeah.
Not a ton of craziness goes on there, but it's a good way to connect to people, find out what the people are doing, what they're doing, and what they're up to.
Yeah, love it.
Oh, I think I need to add some races to my spreadsheet. So for all those spreadsheet nerds out there like me, I have a spreadsheet that tracks all of my races and how many states I've run. I put the date of the race, the time it took me to complete it, and then at the top it tells me what my PR is for my fastest
Oh my god.
race and my longest, and then what my PR for the longest it's taken me to finish a race. But I might have to start. I might have to update it, but I don't know. I think I might make it a goal to hit 50 half marathons by the end of next year.
You know what we haven't done in a while?
What haven't we done?
Segments of any kind?
Any kind of segment. Michael,
True.
do you have a segment for us?
I do. I have a very different run hike yoga this time.
Oh god. If it's the cast of Outer Banks, I'm gonna yeet this laptop
I should have done
across
that.
the room.
All right, let's do that
Because
first.
they're
All
all kill. I don't care what the options are.
No, we have to watch it. Like
We only saw the first episode so far.
There's a very good chance Diana's out of the Outer Banks, and I'm concerned because I need to know what happens to Topper.
Do you?
And Rafe?
Rafe.
Rafe?
Oh, remember when I called Raph Rafe because we were in the thick of the Outer Banks?
Are we run, hiking, and yogaing with them?
Run, hike, yoga. Oh, for those of you who have never heard run, hike, yoga, it is essentially... Oh, run is you run away from them.
Well, run. I was going to say
That's
a lot
how
of
we've
times,
usually done.
Yeah, I was going to say run B sort of became run away because you'd be done with them pretty quickly.
Yeah, run
It's sort of
away,
like-
hike, long.
I don't think it was intended that way originally, but then Diana and I started being like, well, I guess we want to spend the least amount of time with this person, so we'll run with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are my options? It's Pope, John B, and who?
And is it not Topper? What's the other kid?
JJ?
JJ.
That's who I thought you were going to say.
I didn't mean Topper. So run, hike, yoga, the Pogues.
The Pogue.
Yeah, I was going to say the Pogue version would be JJ then.
Yeah, JJ, John B, Pope.
JJ's insufferable. Right?
That's
Isn't
fair.
he the one who gets himself into stupid trouble?
Yes, all the time.
That's all of them.
All right.
That's all of them.
I'm running away from JJ. I'm gonna yoga with Pope, and I'll go on a hike with John B. so I can figure out where the treasure is.
Oh, that's fair. See, I would. Yeah, all right. I can't answer yet because I'm asking the question.
I'm jumping off a dock somewhere in the Outer Banks. Honestly, like I could not.
And hoping
I will
there's sharks.
I will not.
Oh my god! I mean, I gotta run with JJ because I'm trying to
Get the
that
hell
done
away
as
from him.
fast as possible. I guess I'm yogaing with John B. I don't know because Pope is. I don't know.
Pope is the most you gotta hike with Pope because he's the most reasonable one of the three.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of what I was thinking.
He is the most responsible
I also
one.
don't really want to yoga with John B.
Why?
So
John B's a hottie.
He is a hottie, but his shirts are always very dirty.
He's
He
a
is
little
very-
Swayze-esque. He's got like a Swayze kind of look.
He
About
does
him.
have a grimy look to him.
This isn't even what we're supposed to be doing, guys.
All right, well, all right. We had to.
But
we
that
had
was
to-
good. That was
in
good.
honor of the Outer
Thank
Banks.
you.
We had to. We had to do that. All right. So my run, hike, yogas are races.
Okay.
So the run obviously would be.
Is this our new version of the race report?
Yes, this is our new race report. The run would obviously be the race you would least want to do versus the hike would be one you would want to continuously do, like an annual thing. And the yoga would be something like a bucket list type race. So here are your first three races. These are all marathons. So we have Big Sur, we have the Maui Oceanfront Marathon, and the Mount Desert Island Marathon, which if you aren't familiar with is off the
Bar
coast
Harbor.
of Maine.
Yeah, Bar
along
Harbor.
the water also.
Beautiful.
And also one of the most beautiful races. So we have three beautiful courses: Big Sur, Maui Oceanfront,
But you're
and
telling me that
Mount Desert Island.
I would hike Maui because I'd want to do it annually and
Fair.
just have a long relationship with it. I would yoga Big Sur because I feel like I could do it kind of like once as a bucket list and like really enjoy it. And then Maine, I've never heard of that race, so I'm running it.
Oh man, Mount Desert Island actually is on my bucket list, or is on my list of 50 states races. So I guess Maui would be a bucket list one. So that would be a yoga
Maui.
a yoga with Maui. And I guess Mount Desert, even though it's on my list, is still run.
Yeah, that's a tough top 3 there. So, Tom?
I don't want to be unoriginal, but I would basically say exactly what Diana said.
Yeah.
For similar reasons, although I
For
am
same
intrigued about the main race.
Yeah.
The thing about the main race for me is that Maine at that time of year is also just beautiful.
Yeah. It's one that you should actually look at if you want to do a destination marathon. It's
Yeah.
not hilly either.
Yeah, it's flat.
It's only like 250 feet of elevation. All right. So our next run, hike, yoga races are the Walt Disney World Marathon,
Yeah.
the Disneyland Half, and the Wine and Dine Half.
And it's the marathon, not the weekend.
The marathon, not the weekend. Or you could take it as however you want it for the weekend, you know.
I'd hike Wine and Dine. I like everything about it.
I like that.
It's a good distance. There's a great after party. There's usually pretty good theming. The one that I would run away from,
I have an answer.
I'll go. I'm more of a Walt Disney World person, but I would go that marathon.
Run the marathon.
I'd run the marathon, and then I would. What's the other one?
Hike the Disneyland Half.
I'd hike the Disneyland Half.
No, you'd yoga the Disneyland.
Oh no, yoga
I'd
the
yoga
Disneyland,
the Disneyland Half.
Sorry. Yeah.
I am going to, in perpetuity, as Tom liked to use that word, the marathon weekend. I feel like that would be Michael's answer too. He loves that race.
Yeah.
This is why I'm getting stuck doing coast to coast. And then I would run Disneyland or Disney World Wine and Dine. I've never even done that race. It's not even like a race that's ever on my radar. So sure, I'll run it and then cool, be done. And then I will yoga with Disneyland because I've never been to Disneyland either, but that's always been on my bucket list.
I would hike Disneyland because I love the Disneyland races. I like them more than the Disney World races, and I would do it forever. And if it wasn't so expensive to go out there, they would be like my go-to races over Disney World. It's just from where we are in the East Coast.
Cost, yeah.
It's just a lot. Just with flights and everything.
Yeah.
But I love Disneyland. I would actually do the opposite of Tom. Or no, I guess it's kind of similar to Tom. I would yoga Wine and Dine because I like the time of year Wine and Dine is. I like that there's an after party for Wine and Dine.
Yeah.
That's always really fun. I like that at that after party, they do like Adventures Club shows, and I love all of that. And if you get there on the right day, you can see both Halloween and Christmas, which I've done a couple of times, which is great. So I like that. And then I know I'm kind of the minority here, but I don't love marathon weekend, so I'd run that. I just don't like the time of year it is. It's like right at the start of the year.
Yeah,
I'm like ready to kind of get my life back together, and then boom.
Right into
boom, it's
weekend.
Like right there. And I feel like I don't know. I don't know why. It's just January's like the start of the year, so I'd rather I kind of like to end my year with like big celebrations like that instead of starting.
Sense.
But
yeah, you're coming off the holidays.
I don't know.
It always confuses me when we talk about the year of those races because of that reason. Because in my brain, like you spend most of the previous year training for it, so then it's weird that it's the way it starts your year.
Yeah.
So I do agree, timing wise, it's a little weird, but it is one of my just the overall weekend is still one of my favorite weekends.
Yeah. It's slightly too long, like the 4 days.
Get that.
It's just not my favorite. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not my favorite.
Now, you're going to have to disregard the distances on these and think of the locations more than the distance
Oh God.
for
Okay.
you guys. So we would have the Western States Endurance Run, which is Western States 100 from Squaw Valley in Tahoe down to Auburn, California. The Lake Sonoma 100K, which is through wine country. And the Tahoe Marathons, which is, it's actually, you can do one marathon each day for 3 days around
Oh
Lake
my
Tahoe.
God.
Or you can run it all at once. But it circles the lake, which is an amazing drive if you've never done it. So if you don't, if you don't have
I was gonna say,
an
I'm
idea
not sure
of
if there's some
Tahoe,
scope of this.
yeah, if you don't understand how beautiful Tahoe is, it might not all play into you. But these are all beautiful areas. You got wine country, you got Tahoe by the lake, and then you have the Sierra Mountains, essentially.
I think Aaron, you're first this time.
Western States would have to be the yoga because that's a bucket list, and it's a bucket list that I probably would never even be able to attempt.
Yeah.
Due to my inability to probably get into that race. But so I'd have to yoga that one. I'm not huge into wine country, so I don't care about that race as much. So I'll run that race. And Tahoe feels like a place that, even though I've never been there, I've seen it many times and it looks amazing. That it is a place that I could go to over and over and over again. So I will go ahead and add that one. What am I doing with that one? Hiking.
Hiking it.
I'm hiking it.
I will actually answer this one too, since let's see. I think I would run Lake Sonoma, even though I really would love to do that race. Hike Tahoe marathons and yoga Western States.
So you're doing the same thing
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah.
See, this is why we belong together.
Although I would love to do Lake Sonoma. All right, the next one some people are actually doing this.
Are you not letting them answer?
Oh, I thought you guys answered. Jesus, I
went
distracted by the
first.
cats. Sorry.
Here's the thing. I don't even know what Tahoe looks like. I enjoy wine, kind of. I don't think I'm going to have a great answer for this. Because I just don't know. Like, it all sounds beautiful. What's got the most elevation?
Western.
All right, well, then we're running Western.
It's a net downhill, though.
And then I'm going to hike the wine country and yoga in Tahoe.
Yeah. You got to get to Tahoe. I do recommend it highly.
Yeah.
Especially in spring.
I think I will hike Tahoe because I could do that annually. I've never been, but I've always wanted to. And my friend Nicole lives in Reno, which is slightly close. So I can tack on a little trip to see my girl.
Made that drive many times. Not that far.
And then I would run away from wine country. And then yoga the mountains.
It's a good way to go.
Because I don't have a good answer.
Yeah. Well, the next one, these are actually mostly races that have been done by people here.
Okay.
We got Broad Street, Cherry Blossom, and Flying Squirrel.
What is Flying Squirrel?
Flying Squirrel is a 10-miler in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, I want to do that.
Yeah, so that's why I found it very interesting. I was looking for other 10-milers, and then that popped up. I'm like, oh, this would be interesting to people. So
it's a little hilly down there, but 10 milers isn't bad.
We got Broad Street, Cherry Blossom, and Flying Squirrel.
I'm surprised you didn't pick like Baltimore or something like that for them. Although
Cherry Blossom's like right there.
They would do they already do Baltimore.
Yeah, I felt like
perpetuity.
Yeah.
Until we die.
God.
I guess I'll go first because I will run Cherry Blossom because as pretty as that is, the weather is so unpredictable and insane.
Gotcha.
It's great. I've actually never had a nice warm experience. I know people have. The one year I did it, it was in the teens and it was so windy, all the cherry blossoms blew away. And then it was freezing the year that Aaron did it with me. And you can tell because of how bundled up we both are. And
I was bundled.
Yeah, it was cold. the course is really nice, but just the time of year is bad. Broad Street, I would say yoga, because I've never done it. I'd like to do it, but I don't think it'd be a yearly thing. And then I would say I would hike Flying Squirrel because it's really pretty down there. So
Yeah.
I will take that, and I enjoy it down there.
Again, I like Diana's reasoning. I'm gonna side with her on these
Okay.
That makes sense.
for
Yeah, I
the
think
for the
that's
exact same reasons.
I'm gonna run away from Broad Street though. I'm gonna change it up. I love that race. I've done it multiple times now. I don't really feel the drawn need to do it because the logistics of that race are an absolute nightmare. Godspeed to all of you who are doing it this year. I just don't like it would definitely be like that bucket list type of race for me, but not but now that I've done it multiple times, I can run it one more time and be happy with my life.
You done?
I will yoga with that squirrel race though. And then I could just do Cherry Blossom. Cherry Blossom's a fine enough race. Just do that every year. It's an pretty easy course.
Oh, it's a great course.
Like I feel like I could, use that as my proof of time race for the rest of my life.
That makes sense.
We could do one year, and I actually just looked it up. The Flying Squirrel race is the weekend of Tom's birthday. So one year we could do a big celebration and do Asheville. And
Ooh. Let's go do it.
All right. Next we have some classic marathons: New York, Chicago, Boston.
Ooh.
My turn or Tom's turn to go first?
Either.
Okay, Tom. I know my answer immediately.
Run New York. Although all of the I just like Chicago a little bit better than New York. And Boston is just that bucket list kind of situation. So I think it would be, is the bucket list yoga?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the one time you do it.
Okay, then Boston is yoga. Run New York, and then hike Chicago. But it's all very close. Like there's nothing wrong with New York City.
Oddly enough,
I just like Chicago a little bit better.
Yeah. Oddly enough, even though I said for the same reason, Broad Street is the reason why I would never do New York, because New York's logistics are just as bad, if not worse. I would do NYC for the rest of my life every single year if I could. I love that race a lot. So I'm going to hike NYC, yoga with Boston, and run Chicago.
And mine are the exact same answers as Tom for the same reasons. But I will add the spice that Boston is in the worst time of year and you cannot depend on the weather.
That is true.
I would rather
Yeah.
gamble like Chicago, because I know that's been really hot a lot of years. I don't know. I'd rather be warm.
But you would,
cold.
yeah. I was just gonna say the thing about Chicago though is that you're not worrying about nor'easters and snowstorms, or you're just worrying about whether or not it'd be too hot.
Is it going to be too hot?
In Boston, you're worried about like torrential, like
rain and snow,
and then
35 degrees,
freezing rain. There's like way too many factors with Boston. I do agree with that.
All right, now we have some international classics: Paris, London, and Tokyo.
All right, so wait, the big
Paris,
big three?
London, Tokyo.
I think it's interesting that you went with Paris instead of Berlin, and
I don't know
instead of doing just all the world majors.
Paris isn't a major?
No,
I don't know that. I don't.
I just thought it was funny because you literally have New York, Chicago, Boston, London, Tokyo, and then you went to Paris.
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Does Paris have a marathon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's in Paris.
That's the one where the guy went the wrong way last year or 2 years ago or something.
No idea.
Idea. There was like some big thing that happened.
Literally the first time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, Michael's changing the majors. We're now going to Paris instead of Berlin.
Going to Paris.
Which is hilarious.
Sorry, Germany.
I'm gonna go have yoga Paris. No, Nope. What's the one that I can do it year after year?
Hike.
I'm going to hike in Paris. I'm going to yoga in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run in London.
Gotcha.
London is my my yoga. Paris would be this one's hard. All right, so Paris is my yoga. London is my run. No, London is my hike, and Tokyo is my run because I think I only need to do Tokyo once.
Yeah. Tokyo might be one and done. That's a bit of a bucket lister.
Yeah, but that could be yoga too.
Yeah.
You have to decide, would you like, do you want to do it because it's a high bucket list item, or do you want
Or
to
are
do
you
it just
running
because
away
you're just
from it?
running because you're like, I just need to get this over with?
I think get it over with. Unfortunately, I think get it over with would be Paris for me.
Mm.
I would go back to London multiple times, and then my
Okay.
bucket list would be Tokyo.
Oh, it's
Fun
the first time we've been all different.
All right, and my last one, some more internationals, more destination types. We have the Great Wall Marathon.
Ooh.
This is the marathon. The next one is the one that I believe Angie said was her bucket list race. Was the marathon? I don't know, de la Baie du Mont Saint Michel, the one where you have to run out to the castle at a certain tide or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the Athens Marathon.
Ooh.
So the
Wow.
classic marathon. So.
I feel like Great Wall would be run because I think that would definitely be like a one and done, and I wouldn't like aspire to it every year. It just sounds like a nightmare for Tom. Could you imagine doing that with Tom?
I cannot imagine. I was about to say the
It's
same.
it would be the worst thing to happen to anyone around them.
Watch your step.
Just
Didn't remember
Heather Padrami.
Heather Padrami rolled or broke her foot or something?
Yeah.
In like the first 5 miles of the run or something. It was like
Oof.
almost
Yeah.
immediately.
Seems treacherous, but
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yep. I think the one where you run out to the sea on the tide, I think that might be like an every year, and it sounds beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
And then yoga, I'm sorry, and then yoga, Athens.
Again, we are on the exact same page.
It's like you're meant to be together.
We should have made this a newlywed game.
Ooh.
No.
We should do that.
We should do that.
We should get a guest host. We should get a guest host to do that for us sometime.
P.S. We did that at our engagement party, and we know nothing about each other.
It was terrible.
It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
Lisa put it together for us, and it was really bad.
Ooh, we should ask Rise and Run Greg. He would be a great host for that.
Yeah,
well,
we should.
He's probably got time. He's not on the bike. See, I didn't want to say that. I'm not trying to be mean. He's a very nice guy.
He's
I like him.
right now blowing you out of the water.
Oh my god, it's
Oh
amazing.
my god.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to yoga with the race that's in the water tide thingy.
Saint Michel. Michel.
I'm going to run Great Wall also for the same reasons as Diana.
Fair reasoning.
And I'm just going to go run the classic marathon over and over and over until I collapse and die like the original
like
marathon.
the guy.
There you go.
I'm going to call him Mr. Marathon.
Mr. Marathon.
That was named after him. In the city, I think. I don't know.
Oh gosh. So that was our run hike yoga.
Oh, we haven't done that in a long time.
Outer Banks / race edition.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Do we want to wrap up with something good? I'll go first. I did want to just give a shout out at what just happened at Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend. A runner by the name of Neely Gracie from Denver, Colorado, beat the entire field for the third time in Run Disney history. She was the number one finisher of the Princess Half Marathon.
Lady.
Lady.
Like No, they're the male finishers. The male finisher finished 7 seconds behind her. So she was first overall, and then the other guy, he sprinted to the end to try and catch her, I guess, but didn't quite make it.
Boo, it's Princess.
Yeah.
I'm glad like he put up a fight and she still beat him, but like
It's Princess.
like it's don't be a dick. Like let's come on.
Also, yeah, shout out. That's awesome. But my other something good is a movie that we watched the other night called The Banshees of Inisherin.
So great.
The Banshees of Ed Sheeran.
I've been wanting to watch this too.
It's a slow burn, no spoilers, but Michael, I cannot wait for you to see this movie.
It was so funny. Like it's definitely a dark comedy, but Tom wasn't laughing out loud as much as I was laughing out loud.
There are bonkers parts in that
Yes.
movie. Michael, I cannot wait for you to see it.
Yeah. I think it's a look into Michael and Aaron's future, possibly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Now.
I mean, a less dramatic, but
no, kind of on par.
Oh, well, mine is also a movie. Actually, I've watched a lot of movies because I've been running on a treadmill here and there. Logan's Run, I watched that.
Has this ever been here something good before?
Might have been. I watched some classic sci-fi stuff, some other random stuff, but Singing in the Rain.
Oh.
yes.
I popped it back in because 70mm guys had done it last week. And Danny's artwork's amazing for it. But the movie, I love the movie. I've watched the movie probably 3 times a year.
I was going to say we've watched it so many times.
Yeah, and it just, I can throw it on at any point and watch it. So it's just like, it's so good. I wish movies looked like that again at some point. You know,
Man, the
had
dancing
color.
in that movie.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh.
It's almost as
Magical.
bad as watching like Lord of the Rings with me because I'll be like, you know, Gene Kelly had a 101-degree fever when he filmed the Singing in the Rain dance scene.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Oh God.
Because what she'll do is she'll like, oh, here's some random actress. Whose grandmother is that, Tom?
Oh, whose mom is in that, Tom?
Gene Kelly? Who? Hold on. Jamie Lee Curtis?
No, it's okay. Who stars in the movie?
What? Singing in the
Gene
Rain?
Kelly, and then who's the girl?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Fred
You're close.
Grace Kelly?
No. Okay, I'll say Debbie Reynolds. It's Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie
and who
Reynolds.
is Debbie Reynolds?
Debbie Reynolds, Princess Leia.
Yes.
I
Good job.
Yeah, but this is the 15th time we've had this exact conversation, and then I get it wrong all the time.
Oh God.
All right, so Singing in the Rain was your something good.
Oh.
Yes.
No, I want
Awesome.
to watch it. I also like Singing in the Rain because it doesn't have like a 10-minute ballet in the middle of it.
Oh, like American in Paris.
Like American in Paris and 90% of Gene Kelly's other movies. He could get it. I'm not going to,
All right.
he looks good.
All right.
All right, I'll jump in. My something good is Shrinking on Apple TV. Jason Segel was on Colbert talking about it, and we got excited. And then somebody commented and said, this should be our something good. And now I can't remember who it is, and they're probably yelling at their phone right now because I can't remember who it was. But it's phenomenal.
That's
It
with Harrison
is-
Ford?
Harrison Ford's in it.
I've been wanting to watch that.
Jessica Williams is in it, and it's the same guy that did Scrubs, and he did Ted Lasso, and Brett
Okay.
Goldstein's a writer on it as well.
Oh God.
He's not in it, but he's a writer, and it's phenomenal. And Jason Segel is a widower, and he's a therapist.
Okay.
Shrinking, and he kind of is going through some stuff and is basically telling his patients just to, instead of therapy, he's just saying break up with your boyfriend and giving him like the advice that he wants to give them, and then it's just chaos. So it's pretty good. That's all in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, but it's excellent. It's really funny, and Harrison Ford is actually really good in it. A lot of times when you see Harrison Ford, that's all you see. Like, I think he's like he can't really be in anything anymore because all you see is Harrison Ford. But here he does a good job of that, like, actually playing like a character and not.
I know it's me, and again, I have nothing on my list because I haven't been watching TV.
Well, your something good is Princess Weekend.
So, I mean, I can just go with my old standby of watching The Last Finisher at Princess Marathon Weekend was my something good because
That's
it always
always something good, though.
it's always
Yeah.
my something good. Cheering all races is always my something good.
Yep.
Because I love it. It's feel good and it's lovely.
Well, I guess that brings us to the end. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Please continue to interact with us on all the social media stuff. Yeah. And so this is Tom for Aaron, Michael, and Diana. And I'm going to leave us with a quote. This is March, and it's National Women's Month.
What?
Is that right? What's March?
National Women's Month.
It's Women's History Month. March is. You better leave this in. All right. So I have a quote. I have a quote from Catherine Schweitzer, women's marathoning pioneer.
It is Women's History Month or women's something month.
Yeah, I didn't make it up.
International Women's Month.
Is it Boss Babe Month?
Boss Babe Month.
It's Boss Babe Month. Catherine, again, women's marathoning pioneer. She reminds us that if you are losing faith in human nature, go out and watch a marathon.
Appropriate for her.
I agree with
appropriate
that.
for her.
And I can't stand him.
Oh my god. And here comes Indy.
Hi, buddy.
And Jack.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Go sign up for Virtually Live. Do it.